All right, we're live.
Hello, hello.
Woohoo! Exciting, exciting. Let's give this a few minutes and people will chime in, maybe where they're from. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah, first time, right? Yeah, this is pretty awesome. So let me see who's hopping on, and we'll get started here in just a couple minutes. But how's your day been?
It's been really good. You know, for our friends that are going to be coming on.
Yeah,
Just tell us where you're from.
right on. We'll just give it a few minutes as people chime in. I'm going to share this out to some different friends, family, and so on. So in the meantime, just hold your horses.
Okay. I can do that. I think we all can do it. We have always waited for something or somebody.
Right.
So I hope everybody's having a great day, a great Monday, a great, amazing day. I always have, no matter what day of the week, I always have a great, great day. So,
Awesome,
excited
awesome,
today.
awesome. Okay, okay. Well, where are you from, Lily?
Well, Lily Morris St. here from Edinburgh, Texas.
Born and raised? Hmm?
Actually, well, now that you mention that, no. Born and raised in Mexico. And I'm just super excited. I've been in the United States for a few years already. More than a few, but I've been in the United States for a few years. But yes, I am Mexican. And in Mexico, and here today.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, I'm from good old Minnesota, if people didn't know. I absolutely love that state. So, as people chime in here, what we're going to be talking about today is 3 ways that we can combat the modern lifestyle with the foods that we have today. A lot of people, they believe like they're healthy. A lot of people are on diets. They're using supplements. And that's what we're made to believe, to be healthy today. A lot of people use supplements. Some good, some bad. Who knows? I use supplements myself. Lily, how about yourself?
Well, I tried many, many different things before. I never could say that I knew that I was healthy because honestly, in my case, I was really sick for many, many years. So I was really on the search for something that wasn't, I needed something natural. So that's when I run into this amazing, amazing product. Like, yes, I was pretty sick, although I tried many, many other different things, including supplements before.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We got some people tuning in here. If you guys can just like, comment, share where you're from. Like I said, Lily's from Mexico. I'm from good old Minnesota. We're both here in Texas. We're sharing a concept called balance. And it's at least I believe it's one of the best things you can possibly do for your health. And we're going to dive into that. Because you heard Lily's been using supplements. She's been doing things. I've been doing things myself. Liz says hello. So, Liz, nice to have you on here. And Liz, she's using supplements too herself. But what supplements should you use, and are they working for you or not? Because I've tried many things in the past. Me, personally, I've had some skin issues, and it was pretty bad. Everybody says it was eczema, but the doctors never told me that. But as I got older, it would progress throughout my arms and my legs. It was real bad. Wasn't painful or anything. But long story short, it did go away. And I'm very, very happy to share what we're going to talk about here.
Yes, definitely. I have tried also many, many things, along the way throughout my life. But like I said before, my main issue or the main problem is that I was extremely sick. I was sick with no hope, with very little hope for a while, with no hope. But the story has changed.
Right on. That's so good. And hey, a lot of the RGV, the Rio Grande Valley team, is on here. Thanks, you guys, for being here. It's so awesome to see you guys. So let's dive into it. What's the first thing to combat the modern foods that we have today? I think we all can agree, like, if you go back 50, 60 years ago, the food was so much different back then, yeah?
Yeah, well, definitely. And we don't have to go that far, you know. We can come back a little closer, but yes, definitely the food was different. The animals were raised differently. So many different things that now we're having to ourselves deal with without very many options.
Yeah, and a lot of this is being educated, you know, on more. There's a lot of good things out there. And I believe this is one of the best things I've come across. It's actually called the balance concept. So basically, everything that you eat and you consume and put into your body, well, you're going to consume either omega-6 or omega-3s. And that's the two main essential fatty acids that make up your red blood cells. Now, Lily, when have you came across this concept?
Well, I came across maybe almost 3 years ago, about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And when I did, my mind was blown away. I was like, where was this before?
And it's changed your life?
Totally. It totally changed my life. It gave me a perspective. It gave me life. It gave me energy. And like, totally. Yes.
Yeah.
And it came right at the time I really needed something like this. Yes.
Good. So let's go into it a little bit deeper. Now we're talking about essential fatty acids. And the main one, as I mentioned, is omega-6 and omega-3s. That's what's in your red blood cells. And if you know about red blood cells, the red blood cells make up who you are as a person, from your muscle tissues, your organs, your bones, everything, right? So it starts with the red blood cells. And you have trillions and trillions of them in your body. Okay, so in each of those cells, they contain the omega-6. For every omega-6 you have, you should have an equivalent amount of omega-3s, a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, when you get above a 5-to-1 ratio, that's when your health starts to take a little turn. We call that the danger zone. And the danger zone, you do not want to be in. That's what leads to some serious health issues. Now, what I like about this concept is that we can test ourselves and we can find out what our omega-6 to 3 ratio is. And it's recommended for the human body to be at a 3-to-1 ratio and under. And the test, it's just a small little prick to your finger, a little bit of blood, and it pulls up this 20-page report. And I know, Lily, you took a test. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, for sure. It was really easy, number one. Most people that think about needles, they're like, you don't do it. Yeah. I have encountered so many friends and different people that when it comes to that little part, they don't want to do it. But there's nothing better than knowing through your own blood.
Yeah.
Because our life really is in the blood. And that's the amazing thing that we can do it. It's a personalized test. It's something that I don't have to borrow somebody's profile to be able to do my own.
Yeah.
It's my own blood. So what is really amazing about this is that it talks about different categories.
Yeah.
So we don't get to test often or never. Actually, never. I never did. And I visited so many different offices. Not because I wanted to, but it was my condition to that. I was welcome in offices and I was kicked out of offices because of the condition that I have, and all the way to like no hope. So when I heard this, I was like, okay, I can do this. You know, I done everything else. I done shots, I done IVs, I done all kinds of different needles. So I can do this one. So I did, and it was like no pain, like zero pain.
Yes.
So that's amazing. It's just a little bit of blood. It's a prick to your finger, a little bit of blood, a little bit of test. What I know about this, But I
Nice.
love it. It's a home test kit.
Mm-hmm.
You get it at your doorstep. You use it. You open it, and everything is in this little box right here. Everything is included. Everything. I think the only thing that is lacking is a lollipop, but everything is here.
Yeah.
It's a Band-Aid. But
Yeah.
it's amazing. I love it. So I did my test,
Mm-hmm.
and we have these. See, once you start, you do your first test, and this test right here pulls up reports of different categories, like
Yeah.
I said, and it has several different categories, and
Yep.
I love it because in my case, and I would say this really, in my case, I was like, yeah, right, I already know I'm sick. It's going to
Yeah.
come out bad. I already know my results is not going to be good. I wasn't like bragging and saying, oh, yeah, mine's going to be good. I've been taking all these or that. I knew it was going to be bad. And sure enough, my results came back. You allow me to say this now?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. My results came back 28 to 1, Alex.
Wow.
So I did this test.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I got my report online, which is amazing. It's something that you just have it right there. We all
Yeah.
use the phone.
Okay. So for the audience, she said she was 28 to 1, correct? 28
Right.
to 1. So keep in mind, your DNA down to that red blood cell is made to be 1 omega-6 to 1 omega-3. Then your red blood cells can function the way they're designed to. That's how your body can fix itself, heal itself, repair itself. That's how it's supposed to function. But once you get above that 5 to 1, like I mentioned, that's the danger zone. Now, anything above 20 to 1 is horrible for your health. And why? Well, that's when those red blood cells become extremely hard and really stiff. So in that cell, it's like a little motor. It's rotating and working. Well, if it's hard and stiff, you can't flush out toxins. Same thing like in an engine in a vehicle, you need that oil change once in a while. Now, Lily was 28 to 1. That's way off the charts. And actually, I'm not too surprised. It's because of the modern diet today.
Definitely. I have to say these, like I mentioned, I was already, for sure, I knew it was going to come out bad. But in the categories, there was one that got really my attention because I was going through a lot of stress, Alex. I had to mention that because some of us can identify nowadays with stress, with anxiety, and different situations. So I was in that spot. And the amazing thing is one of the categories was the mental strain, and it came super high, came back out super high. I'm not saying like anything else, but just the results on that.
Wow.
I was about 50 to 1. 50 to 1. So that was way high, and that's what got my attention, and I was like, I really need to do something.
So that's why we have the test, and it can tell you where you're at. It's a 20-page report just from a little bit of blood. You send it off in the mail. You do this at home, and it goes to a lab called Vetus in Norway, and it's third-party testing. That's another thing that I love about this. So we got more people hopping on. Let's say hi. Liz is here. Alberto from Mexico. Where are you guys from? Just comment where you're from. I see Shayla's on here. Super awesome. All right. So this is some great information. I've learned about this about 6 years ago, and I started looking into it even more, like by myself, my own research and so on. And the more I looked into it, the more amused I got with it, and I was all on board with it. I know it's changed my life as far as my skin issues. I take it for preventative care. And what am I taking, right? We're going to dive into those three main, what we call tailor-made nutrition. And they're essential for the human body. The first thing I want to bring up is the BalanceOil. Lily, do you have a BalanceOil in front of you by chance? All right.
I do. right
this
there.
balance oil is actually a life changer. And people are using supplements. That's great. You know, I say keep taking supplements. Keep doing exercise and dieting or do something for your health. Okay, but are you getting optimal performance? Are you getting the bang for your buck? Well, that's where the test comes into play. Now, the balance oil. Let's talk a little bit about the balance oil. Because what it is, you want to dive in there, Lily?
Well, when you're saying that, you know, most
Yeah.
people that think of like, taking oil, a lot of people go like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
can't do that. So everybody first started, you know, when I share these, they start going like, you know, I had this experience and that experience, and they start going like, no, thank
Yeah.
you. But once we talk about flavors, you have to say these. There's amazing flavors, and I love it. So actually, even the texture is pretty good. I
Yeah.
love it, and the flavors, like you can taste the mint and orangey flavors, the citrus flavors, and there's different flavors. I have friends that take the vanilla one, or they take just different grapefruit flavor, just different, and many other flavors. And there's one more to come.
The Tutti Frutti. Now that's a unique name too. I can't wait to try that. Tutti Frutti. So the balance oil, when we were talking about those ratios, like Lily was 28-1. I was 23-1, which is extremely high. And I thought I was going to test a lot better. Keep in mind, you're supposed to be 3-1 and under for those cells to function properly in your body. Now, we're both above 20, okay? So what this balance oil is, it's a high quality omega-3 from Iceland that only comes from small fatty fishes, which is really, really good. And then we get polyphenols from, remind me, the polyphenols. We get that from Spain. Yes.
Spain.
Yes, that's right. We get that from Spain.
Or the main place for all.
One of the top two places to get your omega-3 or polyphenols. Sorry. The other one's Italy. Now, when we combine that together, the high quality omega-3 with the polyphenols, that creates this amazing synergy, and we add a little bit of vitamin D3 to it. So here's what happens. When you consume that and put that into your body, it'll stay in there for 36 whole hours so that you're getting the right absorption of the omega-3, the EPA, DHA for proper brain function. You know me, I need that proper brain function. So that's that's pretty vital. Now, I just want to touch base real quick. If you take something similar, because you can get omega-3s from pretty much anywhere, Walmart, Target, your local store. The problem is when they go through the refining process to clean out the contaminants, all the mercury, the toxins, they also remove the polyphenols. That's where the mistake is. When you don't restore the polyphenols back in, by the time it hits your local store, it contains rancid oil. The reason is because polyphenols help protect the omega-3, and it keeps it good. So here, with our balance oil, we restore the polyphenols. And when you consume it, it stays in your system for 36 hours. So if you are on the balance oil, you can get yourself back down to 3-1 and under in 120 days. Now, if you take something similar, you're going to be about a 15-1 ratio, if that's a good omega-3. Now, most are not good. Lily, you want to touch base about the balance oil a little bit in your experience?
Well, yes, talking about the concept, and when you say, it's about the education and all of that, honestly, the whole time I've been, talking about this, I feel like I need to go back to certain classes in school because all this was so basic stuff that we should know, but it's not right there, at least not in my case, right? I'm talking about me, my case.
Yeah.
It's made out of cells, and there's these consuming for whatever reason, you know, I tell people it's not even your fault. It's not even your fault. It's
Yeah.
just happening. You are not consuming the proper amounts of nutrients that you need. So when we talk about the balance oil, and we talk about the 120 days, I mean, that blew my mind because literally every 120 days, and I tell people this, it's a choice, right? Every 110 and 20 days, your cells are going to do a change. They're going to take this, you know, they're going to do something. And I tell people, well, this is the thing. Either you choose, do they renew or they oxidate? I mean, you do better or you're not going to do better. So once you get to a certain age, you start feeling it.
Hey, okay, I'm reading here some comments. Liz says the oil tastes really good. There's some more people hopping on. Lily, could you get a little bit closer to the camera, maybe for audio purposes?
Okay.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that.
Is that work? Are we doing okay? Are we doing better?
All right, good. Liz, is that good? If it is, give me a thumbs up. So that's the Balance Oil. It's quite remarkable. I've been using it for the last 6 years or so for preventative care. Just within a couple months, I seen my skin issues disappeared, and I've tried everything since I was a kid. So I was blown away, and that's what led me to look into the balance concept a little bit more in depth about these products. Melly wants your pretty face up and close. Yeah, there we go, Melly. Hey, what about me? What about me? No.
I'm at a dangerous zone right now. It's
No.
gonna blow. Well, it's really amazing, Alex. I was thinking about this. You know, so many people don't know about this information, and it's being available. You know, if anybody can go to internet and just look up the concept, it's available. What's not available, just like that, is that the fact that we can get back in balance. And I love that. I love that we can literally get back into balance. Our body can come back and function properly the way it was designed to be. And I love that part of all of these, because just that concept, you know, we've been sold this idea that just because we're aging, we're supposed to like start like doing all these things.
Yeah.
And we start talking about that pretty early in life. You know, we start saying these things really early in life. Oh, you know, it's normal. Oh, it's age. But honestly, it's a concept that we've been sold that doesn't need to be that way. If our body, if our cells are back to be in the position that we're supposed to be, and they work properly, all the toxins come out, the cells are working.
It just makes sense. Yeah, and I recommend people doing their own research, or even in the comments here. I see Liz, I see Melly, I see Shayla. I mean, if you guys can drop comments about your results, maybe your numbers, or anything that the Balance products has done for you, because I know here in the Rio Grande Valley, we're one of the sickest area in all of America, you know. And Lily and I, we just decided, hey, we're gonna change the health around here, you know, and do something. Not just all around the U.S. and other countries, but here in the Rio Grande Valley as well. You know, and the changes we have seen are remarkable. Just real quick, Lily, we're going to be on here 40 minutes, so we're going to spend a little bit of time on a couple other, like step 2 and step 3. So any last words really about the whole Balance Oil part?
Oh, the flavor. Liz was right. The flavor is amazing. So it's just a portion once a day that you take, and it's based on weight. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to have to take this big amount or that amount. It's really based on weight. So it's really amazing that it brings your cells back to their normal condition. You know, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
It works amazingly on your cardiovascular system. So.
Wow. Thank you for that. I mean, there's so many benefits. I wish we could talk hours and hours about this. Well, we got some people in the comments sharing it. Liz is 21-1, and Liz is a runner. I mean, she cares about her health, you know, so it just shows, like, let's take this test. We truly don't know what's going on the inside. And Shayla, she shared hers 68-1. Oh my. Um, that's quite high. I believe the highest in the valley, if I remember right. Not to put you on the spot, Shayla, I think you were 82-1, right? Because she held the high. Okay. But
probably one of the highest.
Yeah.
Alex, I was going to say this because you mentioned, in the valley, we have these situation about so many different sickness, and we're high, more than anywhere else in the world, and in the States, not in the world, in the States. But this is what I was going to say. First I thought like very, oh man, how sad, right? And then I started, no, what a great opportunity for people to grab these. What an amazing opportunity came to the valley so they can get this, their life back on their hands, where they can do these naturally products and just take them and feel better, and just know by knowledge of what they see with their own blood, hey, I'm doing better. I just feel better, but I can see it.
Right on. Okay, so that's the first step, to get yourself back into balance. So the second thing I want to bring up is what we call a Xenobiotic. I believe you have that right in front of you as well, yeah?
Yes, and this is one of my best friends.
Yeah, so what this is a prebiotic, and it helps with the gut area. You have so many bacteria there, a lot of good ones, more of the bad ones. The problem is we just have too much of that bad bacteria. So when you take this prebiotic, it's absolutely amazing. Over time, it'll eventually outweigh the bad bacteria. As we all know, gut health is very, very important for us. And I know it's done a lot for you, Lily. Want to talk about it for like a couple minutes?
Yes, I'll just say it. A lot of us don't want to talk about subjects like this, but I never knew what it was to be a regular. I had no idea and what the problems are with all of that, not being regular. So I started taking my daily scoop of these, and all of a sudden, wow,
Yeah, it does have that effect on many, many people. But it's really good for your cholesterol levels, your sugar levels, and that's so important for our health. Now in society, we're just made to believe, hey, take a probiotic, you're going to be okay. And for some people, that's okay. But for most people, it's not okay. All a probiotic does is it goes in, it feeds, it fights the bad bacteria, but it doesn't do anything with the prebiotic that's already there, the probiotics that's already there. So it doesn't feed that good bacteria, whereas this prebiotic does. So we got to get our gut into balance as well. Now,
what's amazing, Alex, is there's no flavor, no smell, no nothing. I combine this with my coffee every morning.
Yeah. It's powder form. It doesn't taste like anything. I mix it with my coffee myself every single morning, like I said, for preventative care. Now, those are the first two things, the BalanceOil, the prebiotic, the Xenobiotic. Now, the third thing I really want to talk about, because this seals it all up, and it actually helps accelerate the process of getting into balance. We call this an extend. It has over 23 different micronutrients in it. It's essential for the human body. It's what you need every single day. It'll rebuild cartilage and tissue around the wear and tear area of your body, your bones, your joints. It's amazing for your immune system. We call it Extend. It's its own category. It's not a multivitamin like some people may think. This is much more than that. So when you combined it with the other two products, it speeds up the process of getting into balance, getting to that better, healthier lifestyle. Now, what's your experience with the Extend, Lily?
The amazing thing is that a lot of times when we're taking different supplements or actually vitamins and from the counter, over the counter, we end up with a bunch of bottles. I don't know if anybody had that experience, but oh my God, I had that experience before. And then I wear like these because I always tell everybody, like, look at all these. It's amazing. And I only do 2 to 4 So I don't have to do nothing other than keep this box
Mm-hmm.
versus like 10 different bottles, so I love it.
Yeah, it's very simple. With the diet that we have today, the modern foods, you have to take supplements just to be at a normal function for the human body. If you go back 50 years ago, I wouldn't even be talking about this. You wouldn't need
Right.
it. You wouldn't need it. But it's crazy how the world's changed so much. And what we just talked about, the three essential products there, you're talking about just $3 a day. What do you spend $3 a day on? Maybe coffee, a gallon of gas. I don't know what is, like $3 a day, and you can prove it with the test. That's remarkable. Take the test, start the three essentials, what we call the health protocol. Then 120 days later, when your cells rejuvenate, you take a second test. Guess what? We'll send you that second test for free. And that's amazing. Now you can compare before and after results with your own blood. Where are you going to go and do that? So I absolutely love it.
I was going to share my second test after 120 days. I actually did it on my 5th month, and my results came 3 to 1, and I was amazed. I was not only feeling it, but now I was seeing it with my own blood, and I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. We call this the health protocol. We have a few minutes here just to talk, to wrap things up. But it's so vital to get into balance. And those are the 3 ways to combat the modern lifestyle food that we have today. And we can prove it with the test. I see some comments in here. And Melly, she loves the Xenobiotic. It's her best friend, she says. So she thanks you, Lily. She's regular too. Yeah, it does do a lot for the gut area.
Some of us really, really know what this means. So much happiness.
Yeah. So I recommend people doing their research. Simply look up omega-6-3 balance and see all the benefits it can do for you. There's some people that go on a strict diet, they're on a meal plan, they work out. I've tested them, and their results come back 25 to 1 or higher. Some as high as 100 to 1. Whereas there's somebody who looks a little bit more overweight, doesn't work out so much. I've tested people like that as well. Sometimes their test results come back really good. It's shocking, but we don't know what's going on at the cellular level.
Right. And not only that, we've been sold so many different ideas, but seeing results by your own blood is the best thing, with your own blood. It's the best thing. And life is in the blood, so check it out.
I love it. We have about a minute here left, Lily. Any last words about these 3 amazing products that we just talked about?
Well, the main thing is that it's available. It's here in the Valley, and it's in anywhere you at. I mean, if you're somewhere else, you can also get it there. But it's available, and that's the most amazing thing. When somebody has something and there's nothing available for them, check this out. This is available right now. It can get to your hands, so it's amazing.
Yeah, if you want to get tested, contact Lily or myself or whoever invited you to this live. I see Melly on here, Liz, Shayla, whoever invited you. Get back to that person and reach out to them. You can get tested today. We're not just in the Rio Grande Valley. We're all over the U.S. We're all over Europe, Australia, South Africa, Japan, Asia, you name it. We can get you tested. That's what I love about this company. And next week, actually, we have about 40 seconds left here. We're going to have a special guest. Maybe, Lily, you want to talk about that a little bit, just real quick.
Yes, really quick. Dr. Paul Clayton is going to be with us right here, same time. So it's going to be amazing. So if you have some questions on health, you will be right with us and available for us. So that's a huge thing. So tell somebody about it.
Dr. Paul Clayton. Man, we've gotten to know him. He's amazing. One of the top 100 doctors worldwide, leading scientist in nutrition. I absolutely love what he does in changing public health. But I want to thank all of you for being on here today. We're going to wrap this up, and we'll be on next Monday, same time, 8 p.m. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.